one evolutionist of the world and a militant atheist. So according to Darwinism, there's supposed to be trillions of beneficial mutations since there are millions of species.
根據呢個 Richard Dawkins 咧，頭先我都介紹過啦，就係佢話咧，如果呢個進化係真實正確嘅話，應該咧就係存在好多嘅特點，而咧係有利嘅特點。
So out of the so-called trillions of different mutations, beneficial mutations, he was asked to give one example out of trillions, in so-called trillions of examples. He was asked to give one example.
有人咧就向佢挑戰，佢就話：你話有好無數咁多嘅有利嘅突變啦，要佢就係舉一個例子啫。
And let's see what he says.
睇佢點講啊
Professor Dawkins, can you give an example of a genetic mutation or an evolutionary process which can be seen to increase the information in the genome?
Let's see what it says. For one example, he thinks.
佢諗下，睇下點講啊
And he stops the recording
佢要佢停咗唔好錄住，
because there is no beneficial mutation. He knows.
因為佢知道從未曾有個有利嘅突變出現過。
The reason why he defends Darwinism is because Darwinism is a religion, a superstitious, a false pagan religion.
點解佢知道冇呢個例子，但係點解又佢會為達爾文進化論辯護咧？因為達爾文進化論就係一個嘅宗教，一個多神教。
Science refutes Darwinism.
科學咧就係否定進化論。
Now we have seen, the second question was, what are the mechanisms of evolution? We have seen there is no evolutionary mechanism.
第二個問題頭先問就係話有乜嘢機制嚟到促進進化論？結果就係冇。
And the third question is, are there any fossil evidence of evolution?
第三問題就話到底喺化石裏邊又有冇證據證明進化咧？
We have 350 million fossils today. And all the fossils shows us that there are no transitions between species, no transitional forms. All the more than 350 million fossils discovered today belong to perfect life forms that have never changed in any way and thus have never evolved.
到目前為止咧，有3億5千萬個呢個嘅化石咧被出土。我哋喺嗰度咧揾唔到有任何一個咧係一個所謂叫做轉折型嘅，所有嘅出現嘅咧都係完完整整嘅一個嘅生命，所以咧我哋見唔到有呢個進化嘅痕跡出現過。
So 350 million scientific evidences refute Darwinism and proves the fact of creation by Allah.
所以咧由3億5千萬個嘅品種嚟到證明真主創造萬物，嚟咧推翻咗達爾文嘅進化論。
Now I will explain you what transitional forms means. According to the evolution, they claim, Darwin's claim, starfish evolved into a fish over 100 million years. So if this would be a fact, then we must see how starfish, 3/4 fish, 1/4 starfish, 90% starfish, 10/4 fish must have lived in the past if evolution be true.
我想解釋乜嘢叫做中間型或者過渡型嘅，就係話根據達爾文進化論就話咧，一個星魚咧就會經過幾千萬年咧就會變成一條魚啦。咁個點係點咧？本來就係一個星魚，後來變咗一條魚，咁中間咧就會係20%、40%、60%，咁慢慢咧就轉變成一條魚，咁個中間嗰啲咧就叫做過渡型啦。
Now we will check the real fossil evidence. These are real fossils that you see over here. Do we have starfish fossils? Yes, we have millions of them. You see, it's a starfish. Do we have fish fossils? Yes, we have fish fossils. We have millions of them.
咁我哋嚟睇下啲化石咯喎。我哋發覺星魚有冇咧？化石有超過100萬。魚又有冇咧？發覺都好多。
Do we have any of these pathological asymmetrical creatures? No, we do not have any of these, not even one. Allah created starfish as starfish, fish as fish, but there is nothing in between.
中間嗰啲一半嗰啲佢有冇咧？一條都揾唔到，所以咧真於創造海星就係海星，魚就係魚，就冇啲半海星半魚嘅東西出現過。
Charles Darwin, he knew this fact and admitted in his book. Darwin said, why species have descended from other species by insensibly fine gradations do we not everywhere see innumerable transitional forms? Darwin says, if evolution would be a fact, why don't we have any transitional forms? And he goes on, why is not all nature in confusion instead of the species being, as you see them, well defined?
達爾文咧唔係唔知呢個嘅問題，所以喺佢著作度咧佢就話啦，如果咧呢啲嘅物種係慢慢一少咁樣咧，就係一步步進化嘅話咧，我哋會見到咧通街都係周圍都會揾到咧好多嘅呢啲過渡嘅型嘅。點解咧？我哋嘅喺世上咧唔係會發覺好多各種嘅物種嘅咧，而係各種物種係好清楚咁分開嘅咧？
So Darwin says there are no transitional forms. Of course, no transitional forms means no evolution.
所以咧，達爾文佢知道佢都係咁講，就話其實係冇咧中間型嘅，冇中間型其實即係冇進化啦。
And this is from today. Niles Eldredge is a very prominent Darwinist and a fossil scientist from the United States. Niles Eldredge, although he's a Darwinist, he says the record jumps. That's the fossil record. The record jumps means this is one species, this is another this is another species, but there is nothing in between. The record jumps.
所以呢個亦都係一個達爾文嘅信徒可以咁講啊。咁佢咧就亦都係一個科學家嚟嘅。咁據佢講，佢就話咧嗰啲記錄跳躍嘅。意思係咩咧？即係話咧嗰啲嘅化石咧，就係好似頭先所講啦，呢個海星就海星，魚就魚，係跳躍，就唔會有中間慢慢改變嘅東西。
And he goes on, and all the evidence shows that the record is real. He says the fossil record is real. The gaps we see reflect real events in life's history, not the artifact of a poor fossil record. It is not because of the poor fossil record, it says. We have a lot of fossils. Record is real, there is no evolution.
所以咧，佢話我哋咧見得到嘅呢啲化石嘅記錄咧就係真確嘅。我哋咧亦都唔係話因為咧唔夠呢啲化石啊，即係揾得少，實際上已經好多啦。但係都話中間咧就係跳咗嘅，咁呢個即係話咧係個事實嚟嘅。
And the Cambrian age. This name may not be familiar to you, but this is the oldest geological layer with the visible form of animals, 540 million years old.
呢個叫寒武紀嘅年代，可能呢個名字對大家咧會係新嘅，但係呢個年代咧就係咧喺地上邊首先出現生物嘅年代。
Now, evolutionists, they expected in the history of life a tree-like structure in the fossil record. First, they claimed a single cell would emerge by chance, and the single cell would diversify in the millions of species. So they expected a tree-like structure in the fossil record.
呢個我哋見得到左邊呢幅圖咧，就係咧達爾文進化論嘅假設，就係話咧首先就出現一個細胞，慢慢一路咧就衍生起身，就由呢一種嘅物種就係開枝散葉咁咧，就越嚟越多嘅物種嘅。
And this is the real fossil record. This line represents the Cambrian age. 540 million years ago, this line is 540 million years ago. There are only 3 animal groups before that. But after 540 million years, each line represents a different animal group. 50 of them appear all of a sudden, and in fact decrease to 35.
喺右邊嘅呢個圖咧，下邊呢個咧就寒武紀嘅時期，但大概係5億4千萬年前。 初嘅時候咧就好少物種，突然間一次過咧就出現好多嘅物種嘅，一路時間過咗之後咧，又有啲咧就絕咗種，只咗35又少翻啲嘅。